Welcome to Lord Windgrace. As far as opening hand goes, yes, I love it. Keep on this one. This is beautiful. We got Mr. Gitrog Monster, the Hypno-Toad himself, staying at the Lord Windgrace estate. So, let's have some fun. Let's go and lead off with Polluted Delta, and then anything else. No, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Lord Windgrace for a +2, discard a card, then draw a card. If a land card is discarded this way, draw an additional card. Then for the -3, return up to 2 target land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. And for the -11, destroy up to 6 target non-land permanents. Then, if you're keeping score at home, you get your very own cat army. Compliments of the Lord Windgrace Estates. Very nice. Thank you, Lord Windgrace. Let's get this popped down. We're going to be needing Crufix pretty quick. So let's grab a black-green sword. Let's grab Overgrown Tomb. Not going to pay 2 life. Nope. And then we'll probably go for this Night's Whisper. I think I like the... Ooh, Rites of Flourishing. I like that. Let's go and get down Wooded Foothills. And let's go and crack Wooded Foothills. We'll probably grab Taiga off of this, because that'll be a good split. I mean, that'll put us at double red. I guess technically we just go grab another black-green source, now that I think about it. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Let's go and grab Bayou. Let's go and go for Night's Whisper. Get that card draw going. Oh, Crash of Rhino Beetles. Love it. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Playing against Gonti, Lord of Luxury, Death Touch. Whenever Gonti enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of target player's library. You may cast one of those spells as though any colored, or basically, long story, look at the top 4 cards of our library. They get to take a spell out of exile, and then they may spend their manas or any color to cast that spell. So, Mr. Gonti Black Friday. Hopefully we have a good showing today, because it's always fun. Playing against Gonti, I always enjoy it. Let's go and get down Mountain. Yeah, so we get down Mountain. We can go for Course of Crufix, but if we go for Crucible of Worlds, that's really going to turn our graveyard online. And I think I like that. So let's do that. Let's go for Crucible of Worlds, because basically what's going to be able to happen next turn is, once we get on Crucible of Worlds, if we don't hit the land, we can still make the land drop out of the graveyard. Then we go for Rites of Flourishing. We can draw an additional land and go for Wooded Foothills. Now, we've gotten actually a really good hand going at this point right now, and I'll kind of explain what's happening. Oh, they went for Lake of Dead. Well, that's let's go for Gonti. Yeah, maybe they get lucky and hit a ramp spell. That's pretty, yeah, go for them. So we get down Rites of Flourishing. Oh, yeah, Everflowing Chalice. That does make sense. Ooh, Damnation. Okay. Yeah, let's go for the Rites of Flourishing. Because at this point, we can build lands quicker than our opponent. That's going to be the main thing. They do get an extra card draw, which is kind of a bummer, but we'll take it at this point. Let's get those. Let's go and crack Wooded Foothills. Crack Polluted Delta, too. Scrap Taiga. And let's go ahead and grab Badlands. There we go. Let's go and get down Prismatic Omen. There we go. And then anything else, go and pass the turn to our opponent. Now, with us having Prismatic Omen on the battlefield, this opens us up definitely to a Scape Shift win. We can go for Valakut, and actually, hold on. Never mind. Check my deck list, because I had this sudden sinking feeling in my stomach that we did not put Valakut in here, and I did not. So, sorry about that. I built this the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, Prismatic Omen, Scape Shift. I was like, that'll work out beautifully with Valakut, and for some reason I thought I'd put it in there. So, long story short, we do not have Valakut in here, so we cannot go for the Valakut win. But we'll probably end up going for Gitrog, because once we get down Gitrog, that'll allow us to get a ton of card draw going, especially being able to play those out of the graveyard. And our opponent did steal our Wayward Swordtooth, so they can play an additional land. Okay, so we've got ourselves a fun little match. And then Hymn to Turok, which, if we were to discard 2 cards of our own, I probably would have picked Courser and then Seer Sundial, because we got to hang on to Gitrog himself. I like it. We'll be able to get that down. If we wanted to, we can go for a Damnation to kind of blow the board up, but man, I think we're okay on this one. Okay, so we're at the point now to where we could go for Rampaging Baloths, make the land drop, make an additional land drop, and that'll be an extra 4/4 Beast token. If we go for Gitrog, that's going to be straight up extra lane drop, extra card draw. Decisions, this is pretty much all your mid-range creatures that we want to get down. Yeah, I think it's better. I'd love to get down Gitrog, but I think it's honestly better if we go for Rampaging Baloths. If we want to put some pressure on Gonti, I think that's going to be a better option for us. So let's just go and grab Mountain at this point. Let's get down Rampaging Baloths. I'd like to get down Gitrog, but since we don't have Prismatic Omen Scape Shift I got in my kitchen, I want to make sure that we have something to show for it. So we're going to go 4/4 Beast token. Yes, we're definitely going to use that ability. Get that Beast token down. And it says they only have 1 mana up. Let's just go ahead and crack, because if we crack at the end of their turn, they might have a response for that. So we're going to grab Blood Crypt. Not going to pay 2 life. That'll be another beast token. Yes, we're going to use that ability. And then anything else, we're going to pass the turn. Yeah, I feel a little bit better going for Rampaging Baloth, simply for the fact of we can slowly build this army up now. If they've got a board wipe, they've got a board wipe. And that's going to get rid of Rampaging in our entire board. But then we'll be able to get down Gitrog Monster and kind of refuel quicker than our opponent can. So I kind of like going for Rampaging Baloth a little bit. Because if we go for Gitrog, then it puts us in this position to where they may not want to use an actual board wipe. You know, it's just... You know, I would maybe use it, but it kind of leaves it open to them. If you get down Rampaging Baloth, that's going to win us the game if it just goes unchecked. So that's at least going to draw out the... If they have a board wipe, that would definitely draw it out of their hand. And then we can kind of bounce back with Gitrog. And also, Crash of Rhino Beetles. Trample. It gets +10/+10 as long as you control 10 or more lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is one of those cards I was like, yeah, sign me up. Definitely going to get to 10 lands. So you can get a... And they targeted themselves. Okay, so they go for Damnable Pact on themselves. I like it. But yeah, Crash of Rhino Beetles. Yeah, this is one of those. I was like, oh yeah, we're putting it in there because I love beetles, and I like rhinos, and I like big creatures that care about having a bunch of lands. All right, opponent's going to go for Doomblade. So this is going to get rid of Rampaging Baloth. We still have 2 4/4 elementals to kind of show for it. And do they have the cities? No, they do not have the city's blessing just yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they are 1 permanent away from getting the city's blessing. Now, as far as next turn goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think that's going to be 8, 9 with the Polluted Delta and Wooded Foothills. If we can rip into Ancient Tomb, I kind of like that. And we're going to get Gonti swing across, put us down to 2. That's fine. Last thing we want them to do is bounce back with one of our, some sort of good spell out of our hand. So Gonti's pretty much going to be able to swing in as whatever he wants to do. Ooh, draw the Thespian stage. Okay, so we go for Polluted Delta, put Imperial Seal on top of our library. That'll be an additional land. So we go for Lord Windgrace. If we just straight up just get down Gitrog, go for the... Yeah, let's do this. Let's go for Gitrog. I like this. Okay, we go for Imperial Seal. Let's go and grab Merit Lage. And then we'll be able to grab... Where are you? There we go. We're going to grab Dark Depths. That's going to go on top of our library. Let's go ahead and play Polluted Delta out of the graveyard. So we crack Wooded Foothills. That's going to allow us to draw a card before that fetch lane happens. Yep, there we go. All right, and then we still get the Wooded Foothills activation. We'll be able to go... Let's just go and get down Stomping Ground at this point. Not going to pay 2 life. We're going to get down Dark Depths. And then we're going to get down Thespian Stage. All right, then anything else? No, we're going to pass the turn to our opponent. So we have Gitrog. We're going to have to start sacrificing some of our lands. Can't attack or block. Yeah, we're okay with swinging at these beast tokens. We need to get some... We need to attack our opponent's life total. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and swing in for 8. Can't attack or block, then we're simply just going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Now, with this particular deck, we want to get down Lord Windgrace, but this is one of those decks that the core of the deck is so good on its own that if we just didn't even have a commander, you would still be okay. And this is kind of one of those games to where... you know, we've got just some really good things to do. You know, we've got Gonti, which can really be a good pressure sometimes, especially if they start attacking our life total or stealing a lot of our lands. So we want to be as aggressive as possible against Gonti. So that's what we're going to try to go for right now. Basically, what we're trying to do is we're just trying to run out as many threats as possible, and then we can use Lord Windgrace as our value engine to kind of stabilize. All right, so our opponent's going to get down the Eldest Reborn. Let's go and sacrifice the Beast token. And then... Yeah, each opponent discards a card. Yeah, so we can still go for Merit Lage next turn. We'll wait and actually do it at the end of our opponent's turn. Each opponent discards a card. Yeah, we'll probably end up going for Lord Windgrace for next turn. I think that'll be good. And actually, if we want to, we could actually... We get into this position where we could make Thespian Stage a copy of Lake of the Dead. And that way we can get around that sacrifice ability and just start sacking some swamp. Ooh. Opponent's got Mirage Mirror. Okay. Now with Mirage Mirror, they can basically make a copy of they can make a copy of Merit Lage. They're going to make a copy of Crucible of Worlds. Okay, so this has definitely gotten interesting. So what we want to do is we need to find some sort of way to deal with Crucible of Worlds, because with the Rites of Flourishing out there, they're going to be able to each turn basically just keep making land drops out of their graveyard. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we do have 10 total mana. We can go for a Crash of Rhino Beetles. We do have to watch out for them going for the Eldest Reborn with the -3. Yeah, from a graveyard. So if they bring back Rampaging Balos, that's not going to be good for us. We still have Damnation, though. So actually, now that I think about it, we're kind of okay. And they've got the whole crew swinging. I like this. That's going to be 7. That's going to put us down to 10. Okay, we've got ourselves a game. I love Rites of Flourishing Magic, and I'll talk about that. One of the main reasons why here in a second. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 extra land drop. So we can go Lord Windgrace and Crash of Rhino Beetles. They've got 1, 2. They're really far away from Crash of Rhino Beetles being active. That's going to force them on having some sort of spot removal for Crash of Rhino Beetles. I think that's going to be a little bit better than Lord Windgrace. Yeah, I mean, we can actually get down both. Let's go for Crash of Rhino Beetles. I love saying that. This is such a cool thing. And then 1, 2. So again, on Crash of Rhino Beetles, we definitely have 10 more lands. That's going to make it a 15-15. Unfortunately, it does not have haste at this point right now. But once we get it down, that'll allow us to still go for Lord Windgrace, and we can discard some cards and bring a few more lands back, and still be in a good position to take care of the Thespian Stage and Dark Depths, I think. Okay, we get that down. Let's go ahead and go for Marsh Flats. And then we'll still go ahead and go for Forest. And opponent does have Urborg out there? Where are we getting the... Oh, excuse me, Prismatic Omen. Got mixed up for a second. All right, there we go. So it's going to go 1, 2. Let's go Jund Colors. And then 1, 2. We're going to get down Lord Windgrace. And you know what? Let's go ahead and go for the -3. We're going to return Wooded Foothills and Polluted Delta back to the battlefield. So this is going to do two main things. This is going to give us the access to mana to Thespian Stage, still keep the 15-15 online, and allow us to threaten Merit Lage for next turn. Okay, anything else? No, we're going to go and pass the turn. We are at 10 life. Do we want to leave up the Beast token? Yeah, just in case there's something funny with no funny business, Lebowski, with the Mirage Mirror. We don't want any funny business to happen, so what we're probably going to do is just hold up the Beast token. Okay. So, we've got some really nice threats, you know, and I'm really glad this video, this game is kind of playing out the way that it is. We'll just go and discard Grizzly Salvage, that's fine. But I'm really glad it's playing out the way it is, because we're able to kind of show you how awesome, you know, just building just a good stuff Lord Windgrace deck can be. You know, you can threaten Merit Lage, you can get down Crash of Rhino Beetles and threaten a 15-15 with Trample. You get down Rampaging Balofs, the Gitrog monster. There's just a whole assortment of things that you can do that just end up being a ton of fun. And like I mentioned, we can flash in the, not flash in, but we can Merit Lage token at the end of our opponent's end step. That's going to force them on having some sort of black removal, or at least some sort of removal spell to deal with Merit Lage. So win-win. But yeah, like I mentioned with Lord Windgrace, this is definitely one of those commander decks that you want to build something that just, once you build that overlapping value turn after turn, Contamination. Okay, at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice unless you sack a creature. If a land is tapped for mana, it produces black instead of any other type or amount. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we're going for Merit Lage. And at this point right now, we can find a way to deal with... Yeah, so at the beginning of your upkeep, sack contaminate unless you sacrifice a creature. So, yeah, we can kind of survive this unless we're about to run into some sort of combo that I'm not aware about. But yeah, like I mentioned, you know, you're building Lord Windgrace. The Kita are really good. And they're going to exile Crash of Rhinos. Okay. Sever the Bloodline. Okay. That's still going to leave us with the Beast token. And we can still survive at this point right now with a 2/5. The only downside is once we go for Merit Lage, they can make a copy of it with Mirage Mirror. So we'll see how we kind of have to dodge this Mirage Mirror. They're going to have become a copy of Crucible of Worlds. And that will be them swinging for 7. If they go for the Exile, that's going to be 7 total mana. Yeah, they've definitely got more than enough mana to go for that. The only thing is if they dip below the 2 mana from Mirage Mirror, then that puts us in a position where we can hopefully kind of threaten our opponent on this one. Okay, so we've got the entire crew swinging in. I guess at this point we just still just go ahead and block Beast Token on Weather Wayfarer, because that's going to put us down to 3, which I'm not super wild. I mean, if they have Exsanguinate, they've got it. But between fetch lands and different things like that, I don't mind having that extra 5 life, and swinging in with the Beast Token doesn't really put us in that good of a position. So, yeah, we'll go and block with the Beast Token. I think we're good with that. Yeah, that's fine. We're going to block Beast Token on Wayward Swordtooth. Oh, but Rites of Flourishing, what I was talking about is when I first got into Magic, I put 4 copies of Howling Mine in every single casual Magic deck that I built, because I just love having that extra card draw. It never made sense to me at the time that I was giving my opponent card advantage the turn it came down. But to me, I was just like, whatever, this is fun. I love it. All right, opponent's going to go for Geth. Now, we can go for Damnation next turn. Merit Lage is going to be indestructible. Yeah, I think we need to go for that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go for Merit Lage. We're going to make becomes a copy of Dark Depths. It's going to be black. It's going to be black. And on this one, you want to keep the copy of Dark Depths, because if you don't, then you end up with not a fun activation. Long story short, it's not fun. And then we draw into Turn Timber Sower, and we get to draw an additional... Ooh, draw to Exsanguinate. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and go for Damnation. I think that'd be the best bet. So we go for Damnation. We can bring that back out. We can still bring back Dark Depths and Thespian Stage. Just going to get rid of the entire crew. That does put them in a position where they can still go for... Yeah, I guess we still go ahead and go for that. So let's go and push in with Merit Lage. And we go for Exsanguinate. Yeah, we need to go for Damnation. We do. All right, so we're going to go and push in with Merit Lage. We're going to see the Mirage Mirror activation. These huge creatures just bowing into each other. I just wanted to force the activation. I like that. Let's go ahead and get Dark Depths out of the graveyard. Let's go Thespian Stage. That way we can still make a copy of it. Let's go ahead and go for Damnation. Okay, and then anything else? We could go for Exsanguinate, but I kind of like holding on to it because we might be able to build up a little bit more mana. Anything else? No, we can't. Unfortunately, we can't get down Lord Windgrace. They do have to... Yeah, and actually, with them having no creatures with contamination, they'll have to sacrifice it. So that'll finally open us back up on traditional mana once again. So that will put us in a position where we can go for Lord Windgrace, kind of get some more of that card advantage going. Now, if they do make a copy of Mirage Mirror, we'll see how they decide to want to do this. We can still make another copy of Merit Lage and just have it... Ooh, let's see what creature they decide to grab. I completely forgot about the Eldritch Reborn. Oh no. I hope that doesn't affect things. But we still needed to go for the Damnation board wipe because we're still not in a good position to survive. Yeah, so either way, we still needed to kind of go for that. So let's see what creature they decide to choose. But oh yeah, so Rites of Flourishing. So whenever I first got into Magic, I would put like 4 copies of Howling Mine in every single deck that I built. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. So whenever I get done Rites of Flourishing, it always reminds me of my favorite format of Magic, and that's drawing an extra card per turn. So always just leads to some goofy things. In fact, if I were to do an arena, because they're doing arena streaming events now to where they get to focus a streamer, they get to pick some sort of like kind of additional rule that you get to apply to some sort of constructed format. I would probably do... if I could do some sort of aristocrats, I would certainly do that. If not, then I would just do Howling Mine Magic, where everyone just draws an additional card per turn. Because that's just fun. Because what it does is it does 2 things. One is you get extra card draw, so you have a lot of resources, but it kind of gets your anxiety going a little bit in a way that you just have so many different lines of play that you can go for, and it makes for really easy mistakes sometimes because you have so many different things that you can do. And you're just like, oh, I'm going to do that. And you're like, oh, I could have done this. And you're not as careful as you normally need to be. So there's just little scenarios like that make it kind of fun. Okay, so we'll see where our opponent's going to get going for the turn. As far as Exsanguinate, ooh, that's going to be Swiftfoot Boots. Okay, let's see how they decide to go for. They get the boots definitely on to Gitrog. Exsanguinate mana, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're looking around 11 on Exsanguinate. So if we can somehow just get that little bit of extra. Torment of Hellfire would be really nice. Definitely put some pressure on them with Torment of Hellfire. But at least with Exsanguinate, if they want to go for something to where, then get that card draw going. With Exsanguinate, at least it's going to buy us a few extra turns. And we can still threaten the Merit Lage token. And if they want to swing in with Mirage Mirror. Now, we do have a couple different answers for Mirage Mirror. We do have couple different tutors. We've already run through Demonic Tutor. We do have Gamble, which is not that good with 2 cards in your hand. We do have Assassin's Trophy. We have Pulse too. So that's some other different ways that we can kind of really deal with that Mirage Mirror out there. But we'll see what else we can hopefully get going. But yeah, if they do decide to make a copy of Merit Lage, we can still make another one in block. So let's just go and let them... sorry, my cat's in my lap and I was petting her. She likes for me to hold my hand on her head. Like, I don't know why she likes that. But whenever I pull my hand away to do something, she always looks like she's like, you just woke her up from a 4-hour nap. She's like, what? Has this kind of goofy look on her face. They do have 1 black mana floating, so let's see what they get going for the turn, and then we'll jump back into commentary. All right, Thought Vessel, there we go. Sorry, sometimes when my opponent pauses it to think, I always like to just kind of pause commentary for a second. That way I'm not just rambling. Okay, so we do have the Gitrog monster swinging in. Let's go and make a copy. We're going to make a copy of Dark Depths. Yeah, that's correct. So we're going to do 1, 2. That's going to allow us to block on Gitrog monster and really stop that from happening. And what we'll do is, once again, we're going to keep the copy of Dark Depths. And we're going to keep the untapped version of Dark Depths too. So you can basically just kind of rinse and repeat. We're going to keep this one. We're going to block on the Gitrog monster himself. And since they've already declared attackers, there's not really much they can do about it. All right, so we're going to block on the Gitrog monster. He does have Death Touch, but if you're keeping score at home, Mr. Merit Lage himself, the big abomination, is indestructible. All right. So we'll see what else they go for. If we can find just an answer for Mirage Mirror, we'll be in a pretty good position. But hopefully we can just kind of just stabilize at this point. Worst case scenario, we can get down Turn Timber Sower. I'd like to just one-hit them with Exsanguinate if possible. Just kind of depends on what we draw. We need to get lucky and hit some Ancient Tombs and different things like that. But it's definitely something we can do. Another good option would be Worm Harvest. Get out Worm Harvest. We don't have a ton of lands in the graveyard. We only got 2. But if we start cracking some of these fetches, get them into the graveyard, that'll turn into a pretty good Worm Harvest. Then also something like Lavalanche. If we draw into Lavalanche, that'll really it'll be a pretty good X-Spell that we can kind of clear the board out. So opponent's going to go for Oracle. Okay, that's what they stole. Gonti stole Oracle from us. And that's going to be a Ristic Tutor on top of their library. And our opponent's going to once again make a copy of Crucible of Worlds. All right, and then they're going to finally pass the turn back over to us. So we do have Merit Lage, Temple of the False God, and then we draw into Soul Ring. Okay, so let's go and get down Temple of the False God. Actually, let's wait just a second. Okay, so we go for Soul Ring. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's going to put them down to 3 mana for an Exsanguinate. You know what, if we're going for the Exsanguinate, we need to get down Lord Windgrace, and we just basically need to hold up Merit Lage. So let's do this. Let's go for Lord Windgrace, and what we'll do is we'll go for, we'll bring back with those activations and play a few more out of the graveyard, and that'll make for a pretty nice Exsanguinate, because without Mirage Mirror, it's just going to be hard for us to get anything done. Okay, we're going to get down Lord Windgrace. Let's go and go for the -3. Actually, we're going to crack Polluted Delta. We're going to grab Swamp. Let's go and get down Soul Ring. Let's go and go for the -3. Let's go and return Dark Depths and Thespian Stage. I'm just going to get down Temple of the False God, and we're going to bring back Polluted Delta out of the graveyard. And I think that's all the extra land drops that we can do. Okay. So we can swing it with Merit Lage once again to force the Mirage Mirror token, but it's pretty much what we're going to see for next turn. And we did go for the activation already, if that's correct. Yeah, we did. Let's go and get down Timber Sower. That way we still have a few more fetch lands that we can crack and get those 0/1 plant tokens on the battlefield. A little bit easier. That way if something does happen, and we're basically just setting ourselves up for a really nice Exsanguinate for next turn. So, and we still have the mana for Rhystic Tutor, which they did draw into, and also draw into Mana Crypt. So basically, there's 2 cards in their hand, Rhystic Tutor and Mana Crypt. So we'll see what they actually draw into. But at least at this point right now, for Exsanguinate, that should be enough for us to grab Exsanguinate for next turn, especially with all this mana out there that we have generated right now. All right, so our opponent's going to go for Dark Salvation. Target player creates X 2/2 black zombie tokens. They're going to target themselves, and then after one target creature gets -1/-1 for each zombie that player controls. Do we want to get some plant tokens going? They can get, yeah, I guess we can make that trade. Yeah, because they're going to put us down to 8. We'll still get a plant token. And so the other fetch land that we have is Marsh Flats, because we need to make sure we've got enough fetchable sources. So we do have another forest we can grab. And then, is there anything else that we can grab? I think we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. There'll be another plant token. Yeah, so long story short, we can crack the Wooded Foothills for a forest. But I think, because we've got, yeah, I just want to double check. We've got Bloodstained Mire, because the last thing we need to do is crack a fetch. You don't have the land. Crack, I'm just trying to see if we've got to Misty, Horn of Greed, Forest, Scalding Tarn, Temple. I think that's all of our fetchable sources. All right, so we're going to grab Swamp. We're definitely going to go and go for Wooded Foothills. That's still going to give us an additional plant token. Basically, we just want to have enough blockers to where they get those zombies going, we can just stop them from swinging across. We'll grab that at Last Forest, and there we go. All right, so poor little Timber Sower. They still have Gonti swinging across. They've got Oracle swinging across. They've got Swiftfoot Boots on another creature, so that's 3. So that'll still give us some protection. Ooh. Okay. That is something. Hopefully we don't... So the Merit Lage is going to be 2/4/6. The Mirage Mirror for Merit Lage, we kind of trade on. That's going to put us all the way down to 1. I'm glad that we didn't... Let's see how they want to swing in. Because if they swing in with the 6 like this, we can still block on 1 and we're okay. So we'll just block on Oracle. Okay, I like that. We'll just simply block on Oracle because the last thing that we want to do is give them the opportunity to recast something, recast Gonti. All right, so we're still going to leave us at 5, so that's still survivable. But yeah, if we crack that last Marsh Flats to get an extra plant token, we still would have had the plant token, but that Mirage Mirror, that would have been pretty rough. And they've only got 1 card left in the hand. And I pray it's not Exsanguinate. If it's Exsanguinate, oh. Rhystic Tutor, okay. And we're definitely going to pay 2. We did 100% want to pay that. Okay, so they've got no cards in the hand now. And that's going to put us on just a beautiful Exsanguinate for next turn. Yeah, because I don't think there's anything else that they can do. I'm looking right now. Yeah, that should be Exsanguinate. So we can go for Thespian Stage to make a copy of... they're going to go for Crucible of Worlds. Okay. They could make a copy of that. But if we end up basically just Thespian Stage, we're going to have it become a copy of Temple... Yeah, we'll have it become a copy of Temple of the False God. That'll allow us to get a little bit of extra, but we should have more than enough mana to close this one out. Okay, so we've got Temple of the False God. That's going to put them at 17. And then we're going to gain a huge chunk of life and also attack our opponent's life total down to the nitty-gritty. And I cannot remember if Exsanguinate was in our opening hand, but it's been sitting in our hand for a minute now. All right, so we draw into Escape Shift. There we go. Well, thankfully, okay, here's the deal. So if we had Valakut, we could have gone for Escape Shift, but I don't know how many lands we would have had, so I don't think we would have triggered it. But either way, we're going to be able to go for this Exsanguinate. Let's go and bring back a Polluted Delta. Bring back Wooded Foothills. Let's go for Exsanguinate. X is going to be black. We're just going to tap the whole crew on this one. Okay, so we're going to go Exsanguinate X equals 20. And so we're going to lose, make our opponent lose 20 life, and we're going to gain 20 life. That's going to put us back up to 25. And then that should be game. I'm not really sure what they could do. They could merit a Mirage Mirror with Merit Lage, but that should be some really nice grinded out action right there. Okay, so we go to 25, and it puts our opponent down all the way to -3. Good game to our opponent. It was really enjoyable, especially getting to play against a Gonti. And I was a little worried about going for double Rites of Flourishing with our opponent, but hey, this kind of makes the game fun. As long as you can take advantage of that card advantage a lot quicker than your opponent, that's going to help you close the game out. But you can definitely see how good Mirage Mirror was in this particular match. But unfortunately, I'm definitely going to add Valakut after this particular game because you can definitely Prismatic Omen and Valakut into a nice win. But unfortunately, I didn't have it in there, and I will be adding it after the game. And also, as far as this particular game, if there's any lines of play like, Jolt, you should have done this, or Jolt, you should have done that. When you're playing a deck that has a ton of different lines of play, a ton of different things that you can... When you're playing a deck that has a ton of different lines of play to go for, it can be a little overwhelming when you're trying to give commentary. And you can sit there and pause and think about it, but you're giving commentary, you're trying to think about it, and I don't want to chew the clock up. As you can tell, our clock was pretty much the same the entire time. So it's one of those, while I'm giving commentary, I want to make a decision as quickly as possible. Not quickly as possible, but I want to think a little bit, but I want to make a decision and just go with it. So if there's something, certain line of play I didn't go for, if I get hung up on something, mainly it's just I don't want to sit here and waste our opponent's time while I'm sitting here trying to think and then give commentary explaining what I'm doing. So I very much try to capture the live commentary, live gameplay aspect, and that does lead to a few mistakes. So maybe we could close it out a little bit sooner. Who knows? But anyways, hopefully, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.